So I remember last year sounding the alarm about this when they first talked about this. First of all, they wanted to turn it into apartments in the GPO, the most important building in Ireland and the most important building to Irish history. Where the Easter Rising started, where the leaders of the Easter Rising was there at 1916 in the GPO. The most important place in Irish history. Like, there's no doubt about it. And obviously the government hate that. They hate Irish history. They hate sovereignty and independence. Backwards looking idea of sovereignty, Micheál Martin would say. But yeah, so what they turned into a mixed, pretty much, cultural hub, which sounds lovely, I'm sure. But yes, nowhere else. They don't want to do it anywhere else. They could have it in any other building in the country. But yeah, GPO, of course. Why not? But yeah, and along with other things they want to do, they want to tear up other buildings belong to the 1916 Rising, of course they do, because again, they want to get rid of anything that's Irish and has Irish history to it, to rewrite their own history. But first of all, before I get into the straight away, this should always be left either as a post office. I said this before, always as the post office, because it's been the post office for hundreds and hundreds of years. So why the go? Because again, An Post is owned by the government. There's no such thing as they don't have the money for it. They have money for everything else. But there's no such thing. Either they keep it the post office, the general post office, or there is a museum in the GPO. Unless they just keep extend the museum to the whole building, pretty much. But what they're suggesting here, and they're suggesting too, I think, putting shops and stuff into it. That's what they're suggesting in the plan. So the Dublin City Task Force, this was set up after the Dublin riots, to suggest what can be done in the city, what can be done to improve the city. First of all, you have to kind of make the city safe, because at the moment in time people are terrified to go into Dublin city centre. So probably deal with all the drug dealers and people begging on the streets and stuff for money. A lot of them are coming in big floats of cows in the middle of the early hours of the morning and begging for money, even though they have big floats of cows and the big house and stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the country you live in. But yeah, it is literally evil. And what they're turning into shopping units, as I said, in offices and stuff in the GPO too, which is literally evil. But Sinn Féin, you think Sinn Féin would be literally jumping up and down, but there's a few mentions. Like, you think they would be literally jumping up and down in Dáil and literally not leaving leaving the building until they get this sorted, until they say no about this. But again, this is the thing they knew for the last year. I've been saying this for the last year with the GPO. They were going to do this. I'm surprised they haven't turned it into an iPad set. That's the next thing they probably would suggest. We're turning it to the Rec Provision set though. But yeah, they hate Irish history. If there ever was a time to show you that the government hate Irish history, it's plain and simple right there. You think they would want to embody this building as a whole tradition forever, or the future generations, that our independence was won and fought here. But they want to destroy it pretty much. So they wanted to use it as an office and shops and stuff like that in the most historical building in the country. It is evil. Whatever these people who are in this Dublin City Task Force are Satanists, to be totally honest. There's no doubt about it. Maybe there's one or two that are misunderstood, but the majority of people know rightly what they're doing. And this whole Dublin City plan is really much trying to railroad what Ireland's about. What I mean by that is they're trying to take up the Irish authentic history and rewrite it as its own, inclusive and this is me how Martin would allude to and stuff like that. It is hopeless. It is hopeless what they are trying to do, because everybody can see it. Everybody can see what they're doing here. Everybody with eyes can see that their plan is to erase Irish history. They want to. If they got away with me, Martin, they would get rid of it. If the GPO, they would knock it down. If they got away with it, but they won't get away with it because the Irish people won't tolerate it, and shouldn't tolerate. We shouldn't tolerate this, to be totally honest, because they should ask the people. First of all, this Dublin City Task Force. If you ask the majority local people in Dublin, the first thing they will say to you: police the streets, get the Gardaí on the streets, fight the crime that's going on in the city, that making tourists afraid to go to the streets, making locals afraid to go into the town, into Dublin city centre. Worry about that, and then maybe worry about other stuff then, because the main thing is people can't even walk the streets. Children can't even stand outside their school up by the Garden of Remembrance without somebody going with a knife and stabbing them. Maybe worry about that, and maybe don't worry about trying to destroy Irish history and culture. But maybe, no, we'll not do that. Why? But the other thing, that's what the government was saying. Doesn't make much sense, but it is literally evil. Like, there's no other word to describe this. It is evil. And the same with Moore Street. They want to destroy Moore Street because, again, Irish history, they hate it. They despise it. They despise everything to do with Irish history. It is evil. Like, there's no other way to describe it. But yeah, so let me know what you think. But hopefully they back down. Hopefully there'll be a huge uproar. Because there should be a huge uproar. Because the next thing to suggest an iPass set though in O'Connor Street, in the GPO, because Micheál Martin's definition of the proclamation and stuff kind of emphasises that. And the same with backwards looking at EU sovereignty. They hate the whole foundation of the 1916 rights. They despise it. They despise everything about it. That they fought for sovereignty and independence. Backwards looking at EU sovereignty. But when you put two and two, you get one. You get your answer pretty much. But yeah, it is literally. I don't think this is any benefit to anybody to be done in this city plan, because the main thing in Dublin City, anybody would tell you, whatever about doing things up and all these buildings and turn them into different things and rewriting Irish history. The main thing is, as I keep saying, is the crime. Like, everybody else in the city would say, don't worry about this, fight the crime, deal with the crime, and then worry about doing something else, because crime is off the scales in Dublin City Set. The people are absolutely mortified to go down O'Connor Street. I was on O'Connor Street last year, before I went to Finland, and not a nice place to stay, not a nice place. It's dangerous. It's how it's shifty characters. They should be probably in prison or sent home, a good few of them. But nothing's ever going to be done about that, unfortunately. But again, we have to destroy the GPO. That's pretty much what they're saying here. Again, these are people who are just evil. Like, these people are evil for even suggesting this, first of all. As I say, the only proposal I have, you keep it as a general post office. The government can afford it if they want it. And post is owned by the state. There's no such thing as there's no money for it. Let's put it. They can make money for direct provision centres. They can make money for this. Not even that too. Just hear me out for that. Even just the museum, just to keep it as a huge museum to Irish independence and freedom. But they won't do that either. They want to destroy that too. They nearly would go into Camelum jail and knock it down if they got away with it too. But yeah, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to happen, or do you think it's not? Let me know. Thank you.